right, go.
Hello and welcome to the Week 17 edition of the Over Under Spreads of the Week, where we run you through every NFL spread and give our opinion on where the line's going to fall. Second to last week here, Mike. I've got a 4-point lead in the standings at the moment, so a bit of work to be done, but it makes for an interesting last couple of weeks. And really getting into the money end now, should we say?
The business end, you might say. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, a lot to play for. There's still seedings to be played for in both conferences. Division winners to be crowned. I sound like I'm Scott Hanson introducing a week of red zone here, but that actually is true though. There's a lot on the line this week, as we'll probably get to with the picks. Not least, obviously, our own personal championship up on the line. I think your lead might just be, if you play it conservatively here, it might be unassailable for me. But I think you've never been one to play it conservative, though, Tom. So I'm sure you've got some surprises up your sleeve for me.
I'm sure, yeah. I'll try and keep it interesting in the name of a fair game. So, we had a 9-6 week last week, 9 for me, 6 for you. I was just saying earlier, I like the Chiefs cover that I picked there. Historically, this year they haven't covered any spread above double digits, but that was a very easy win there. And it's the Seahawks having absolutely nothing on the road there, so I was happy with that. What was yours of the your pick of the week?
Pick of the week, I think probably New Orleans doing the Browns. I think that I just had a gut feel about that. I just think the Saints are not as bad a football team as perhaps their record shows. Sometimes they do still have some good defensive players and some good. They have some offensive pieces around Dalton as well that keep them competitive. And I just think I think the Deshaun Watson thing is already looking like a nightmare for Cleveland. Honestly, I mean everybody. I mean I don't think there's many Cleveland fans that would not have predicted that either. I think everybody sort of felt it was sort of a cursed move from the outset, and so far the results are kind of panning out that way. Maybe he'll turn it around, who knows? But at the moment, he's looking very, very rusty. There's just no goodwill for him either. Like, it must just be depressing for him to go to work every day because nobody wants him to succeed. Nobody wants him there. It's just like the whole thing is just a mess. So given all of that, I felt that was the right call, and it showed out.
Well, it was good. It was also a team with a lot to play for in the Saints. Amazing, they're still up for a divisional title here, and the Browns with nothing to play for. So
we'll see
how that factors.
Yeah, we'll cover that this week with their game against the Eagles. Two teams with a lot to play for there. So very interesting. And the Browns, as you say, nothing to play for apart from pride, and I don't think this is a particularly prideful group, is it?
No, not at all. All right, should we get into it then? We're doing this on a Thursday for the first time in a while, so we'll be able to give some insight on the Thursday game for once, which would be good.
It will.
Although, given our record on Thursday game this year,
would anybody listen to us?
Less than stellar.
I think it would be a fool's errand.
I think we've picked. Well, that's true. Yeah, I think we've picked 2 or 3 correct Thursday spreads this year. So that says it all. Oh my goodness!
It's what's going on with this spread? Malik Willis.
Well, this was 13 points earlier in the week. So this has gone. The Cowboys fans are piling in.
I see. Henry is a doubt for the game.
Tannehill was always going to be out, but I guess the Henry doubtful has played it. But that's not a reason to give 6 more points to the Cowboys. That's ridiculous.
No, I mean we're obviously I should. I mean, who's going to go first? Shall I go first, or do you want to go first? I can't remember whose turn it is.
Well, I'll go first because I feel very strongly about this.
Yeah,
go on. This is an easy Tennessee cover, and I think I'll be calling you later tonight to ask to put some of my money on this back home, where betting is still legal. But this is way too much. The Tennessee Titans are at home here, even with Malik Willis. I just don't think there's that many minutes in the game for the Cowboys to get a 20-point victory here. This is
No,
so yeah. Other than that, there's not too much more insight I can provide here. It's just that the line started at 13. It's gone out 6 points.
yeah,
So yeah, you couldn't pay me to take Dallas here.
it's a very interesting one. It's there definitely is a lot of money going on Dallas from the punters, which will have pushed this out. Um, either that, or is a no. This must be no, Tom. This must be an error on the Athletics
Oh,
website.
this is plus 19 for. Oh god, this is wrong. Okay.
This is incorrect. So
All
let's
right.
let me
Okay. So I
let me
think
Google.
the correct spread should be 13 then, because that's what I had earlier when I was doing these.
Yeah, so Dallas minus 13.
Okay. Well, even so, I'll still take Tennessee. Go on.
Yes. Ditto, these injuries. I mean, obviously, the reason that it's 13 to begin with is all of these injuries for the
Yeah.
Titans are a disaster. But equally, like you can't imagine for the Cowboys that Pollard and Parsons will play. It's very unlikely that they're going to win the NFC East, and they can't get home field in the playoffs because they're not gonna necessarily get above the Vikings and the Eagles. So I would have thought they would sit Parsons and Pollard here,
Yeah.
which means they're without two of their best players. So I just don't see them blowing the Titans out. Give me the Titans here.
Yeah. I like that. Let's
Yeah.
as we said, but it's probably going to be wrong given our Thursday night picks, but the you can't pass up the points in this one
Yeah,
from
but
here.
if you're gonna be wrong, at least do it with some logic, you know? That's how I feel.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
so yeah, an absolute
goodness.
toilet bowl affair here. Cardinals, Falcons, two of the worst divisions in football, the NFC West and the NFC South, squaring off.
Mm.
Um, Goodness. Well, I can't see necessarily. I mean, Atlanta are going to be the favorites here because once again the Cardinals are having to play Trace McSorley at quarterback. I'm assuming. I
Yeah.
actually haven't seen an injury update. Yeah. So Colt McCoy is still in concussion protocol. So that makes the Falcons the 4 point favorite. I don't think so. I got burned by the Cardinals last week. I took the Bucks
Mm.
to beat them big, and he
Yeah.
obviously kept them in that game. I can't see the Falcons playing a much cleaner game than the Bucks did this time around. Plus, they don't blow anybody out even at home. So yeah, give me the Cardinals to cover that four here.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we've seen Atlanta win by more than 3 points this season. I can't remember a game where they have.
I can't remember it. If they did, it will have been on like a pick six in the fourth quarter or something.
Yeah, I mean, that said, I'm going to side with the Falcons here. I'm gonna I'm gonna do a flip flop. I like the Cardinals last week at home, but I don't fancy them going from the desert all the way over to Atlanta here on the East Coast.
Good point.
Yeah, I just don't like him to travel. It's the 4 point. It's a risky. I think the safe option here is taking the Cards because, as we've said, the Falcons don't win these by a lot. But I see the Falcons get the run game going. JJ Watt also out, I believe now.
Yeah.
So I think that's the Falcons maybe win by a touchdown here. Still, they still have the division title to play for, technically still alive somehow.
Well, yeah. As we were just talking about the NFC South, absolute dire this year. Another NFC South team, a much more realistic division contender, the New Orleans Saints. Although, yeah, no, you're right. They're only one game ahead of the Falcons. So all still to play for. They're on the road against my Eagles. I guess it's you with the first look at this, Tom, and I'm not sure this spread is correct either. To be honest,
No,
I don't know what the
no.
Athletic are doing here. They've let us down this week badly.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know where they've got that from. It was 5.5 earlier when I had a look. So
Philly favored by 5.5.
yeah,
Just to be
yeah,
clear for the good people that watch it, if they're
yeah.
still
I
on.
mean, you can have it first because you know more about it than me. I'm not sure if Hurts is going to play this week.
My the information I have at the moment is that he is not going to play. Like I've read, just from what I've read, obviously online,
Yeah,
I don't think that he will play. Lane Johnson is also going to be out. It looks like, to be honest, it looks like AJ Brown might be out here.
Oof.
Looking at this injury report, so I'm going to take the Saints to cover here.
Mm.
I think with Hurts being out and Minshew being in, I actually don't fancy the Eagles to win this game either, to be honest. The defense was absolutely anemic last week against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
With some of the injuries, and Philly seemed to be quite confident in their ability to just all they need to do is win one more game, and they'll have
Yeah.
home field guaranteed throughout the playoffs. And they seem to feel that they can get that done, resting all of these people that are carrying minor knocks. I'm going to disagree with that and say the Saints probably will win this game and put real pressure on Hurts to come back
Wow.
in the final week of the season and just get this job done because the Eagles absolutely, given the season they've had, must get home field advantage in the playoffs. Otherwise, you'd have to say it's kind of a bit of a failure from where they were.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to say the Saints cover here for me.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Maddox is still injured. That was quite a big loss in the secondary last week as well. So,
Yeah,
as you said earlier, talking about the Saints when they beat the Browns, they do have some skill players around Dalton. And Dalton's actually having quite a good year statistically, as you can see there. Not, but certainly not as bad as I thought he'd be. This is, yeah, the thing I like about New Orleans is their defense does seem to travel, and that's what I categorically ignored that when I picked the Browns last week. Dennis Allen has got a good defense there. They've been good last few years. I think they do enough to keep this within 5.5. I'm not sure I'm with you. I think the Eagles edge out a win here with some Minshew magic maybe, but it's a Saints cover for sure.
well, I'd obviously love to see it. I would certainly take it. Just need to get this home field secured here.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Mm.
Coming down to the wire.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
the Jags at the Texans. I mean,
Oh, this
I
this
mean,
is a. I believe I said earlier this year to you when the Texans went to Jacksonville and did them in Duval County. This would be my banker for the year. This one in a split series AFC South game. This is all but certain that the Jaguars will win this one. The only question for me is whether they cover the 4 points. I think they will. I'm going to go on a limb and say they will here, just because they're the form team. The Texans win last week, probably influencing this a little bit, bring it in a few points. And I think the Jags have enough here to. They've really got things rolling now, especially on the in terms of Lawrence's progression. I mean, just a very stellar year for him. So I think the Jags take this one by touchdown or more.
yeah, I agree. I don't see any need to drag this out at all. I think a Jags win, and I think um, they're going to sort of storm into the playoffs here late. The Jags. I think the
Yeah.
Titans have got all kinds of jeopardy, as we've seen previously, just now about with their roster and their injuries. So, yeah,
Yeah.
the Jags won't turn down the opportunity to get themselves into the playoffs, and I think they'll do it by a touchdown here against the Texans.
Yeah, that
Um,
sounds about right.
So yeah, this is an interesting one. You've got the Dolphins, who, if Tagovailoa was going to be playing, you would have thought that that would be quite a comfy Dolphins victory. A Patriots team that seems to just can't get out of their own way the last
No,
two games.
no.
They're obviously favored here because the Dolphins have one of the worst backup quarterback situations in the NFL. It looks like Bridgewater is also injured, so they'll be down to Skylar Moore. Is it? Who have they got playing quarterback?
I'm not actually sure. I think Bridgewater should be fine to go from what I've heard.
Oh, okay. Well, if Bathwater plays, that does make it a little bit interesting because the as I say, the Patriots have kind of fallen apart. However,
Yeah.
this is in Foxborough, and it is during as you will well know, being in Ohio, Tom, at the moment, an absolute chill has descended
Yeah.
on the US.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say actually it would be so like the Patriots, even given their recent form and their just terrible season by their standards in general. It would just be so Patriots to win here by a field goal and keep themselves in playoff contention as a wild card.
Yeah.
Even with all of their clear deficiencies on their roster. So yeah, give me the Patriots here in the cold to grind one out against the Dolphins.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, I think that's the right call. We spoke about the Dolphins being 0-5 in cold weather games when they went to Buffalo and proceeded to then lose that game, unsurprisingly, 2 weeks ago. So this is the same thing here. They're about to lose another cold weather game, I think, and I like the spread as well because it's under a field goal. So you like the Pats to take this by a field goal. So
Yeah, no, I think we're both quite happy with that. It's always happy to see a 2.5 point spread. Gives you a
yeah,
warm feeling inside.
it's very satisfying. Yes.
Yeah. The
Oh
Browns at
dear.
the Commanders, man alive.
Oh no.
Literally, I'm not being funny. And the only people that watch this, Tom, are Browns fans, if they
Yeah.
do even watch it. But like nobody cares about this game. The the Browns
This
are going to be on the road at the Commanders. The Commanders, I mean, I guess they're still in an NFC wild card race, aren't
yeah,
they? I suppose. Um,
they are.
I mean, I don't know. It's your turn. You shoot, mate. Go for it.
It's a team with something to play for, as you said, versus the Browns who haven't got anything to play for now. So it's I'm surprised at this spread. I thought it might be a bit more, although the Commanders have been on a slide in the past few games. Lost the last two. So I think that's actually good value to take the Commanders here. In what I think might be a comfy win in the end when all's said and done here. Honestly, it could be you could be seeing a 7 or 8 point win.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're going to agree again on this one, two in a row. But sometimes you just have to go with it. And I think the logic points to Washington here. You're not asking the bookies aren't asking you to predict a big win here, just a 2 point spread. So
Yeah.
I'm quite happy for Cleveland and Washington to get into a real slobber knocker, and the Commanders win it on a field goal. And just move on here and stay in the wild card race. And if I can't see Deshaun Watson really putting up any kind of resistance here, to be honest. Unless he just finds it, unless he finds his 2019 form out of nowhere. The Browns will struggle to win any games down the stretch, potentially next season too. So yeah, give me the Commanders here.
Yeah.
So we head now to the Motor City when my internet complies here. So 6 point favorite in the Detroit Lions.
Interesting.
I mean, my word. I mean, obviously the Bears were diabolical last week. Got absolutely blown away. The Lions resurgent, getting some momentum, making a wild card push, everything to play for. The Bears have got nothing to play for. So I'm going to take Detroit, but it's with real unease.
Yeah.
I'm not happy about it, to be honest, because I don't think the Lions really blow anybody out. But yeah, I'll take the Lions there just based on the fact that the Bears have got nothing to play for.
Yeah, it is a teaser. This one, it's almost teasing you to take the Lions. I'm just trying to see what the result was in the first game here between the two. I can't seem to find it. They played in week 1. Goodness. That was a Bears win. Oh no, one. Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll just cut this out. I'm just gonna side with the Bears here. Just because I think it's a divisional game and it's too many points, and the Lions got run over badly last week by the Panthers, of all teams.
Yeah.
So I don't fancy them to slow down the Bears rushing attack at all. And I don't know, maybe even an upset on the cards here. We'll see how the Lions respond after that loss. So yeah, I think if they do win, it's a field goal game.
I think you're probably right. Fun to differ on one though.
It is
too much agreement on this episode, I feel. Well,
Oh dear.
I mean, I know where I'm going with this straight off the bat, but it is your honor here, Tom. So I'll let you go first.
Huh. Actually, in flip flop fashion, I like the Bucks this week.
Oh,
Because
man alive. Okay.
well, is that what you were going to go for as well?
No, no, I'm
Okay,
happy to take the Panthers here. The
I
Bucks
thought.
just proving to me last week that they are the frauds of the NFC here.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, the Panthers are just yeah. To be fair, with Darnold, they've been a lot better. So I could be shooting myself in the foot here, but yeah, the Panthers won last week. The Bucks lost. I don't really believe the Panthers can win two in a row. So I'll take the Bucks here to take us in a field goal game.
You've honestly, a lot of that logic kind of makes sense, and you're kind of convincing me. It would just be so typical that they'll win by Brady will throw for 300 yards here and 4 touchdowns,
Yeah,
and they'll win by 14 points, and I'll look
yeah,
like a fool. But I'm just going to take the Panthers to be different here. I need to make up some results on you if I'm going to stay in this thing. So Panthers
yeah.
come in. The Darnold train is rolling, and they come in and get it done. And keep themselves very much alive in the NFC South race.
Yeah. Well, the sad thing is someone's got to win it.
Yeah, it really is one of those. It's like you don't know quite how anyone will win it, but maybe it's a tie, Tom, in which case I cover and I'm a happy boy. Um,
That's cool.
the Denver Broncos travel the head coachless Denver Broncos travel to Arrowhead to take on the ever potent Kansas City Chiefs here. Well, yeah, you better fill us in on your team here, Tom. Tell us what's happening.
Well, no real injuries to worry about here. I'm not sure if the Broncos will start Wilson or they'll have a look at someone else. Probably, yeah. I mean, it's anyone's guess at this stage. It's a lot of points. Um, the Broncos just seem to match up quite well with the Chiefs, though, as bad as they are. The defense they have, the pass rush is all right. The secondary is very good, and they just seem to stifle the Chiefs. Not so much to beat them. This is Kansas City's division once again, but I think 12 and a half is far too much. We just saw easily cover a 9-point spread a few weeks ago. It was at Mile High. So if you're saying they're away, you're giving them 3 more points than you would in that one. I'm quite happy to take that. That sounds about right to me. So Denver cover.
Yeah, good logic. The one thing I would say about that first meeting was that the Chiefs did get out to like a 21-point lead, I believe, in that game, and really should have
Yeah,
been
just
more
got late.
clinical. Mahomes
Yeah.
with some errors that kept the Broncos hanging around, but I think you'll see a resurgence from the Broncos here. I think it looks like he's Hackett was only the second coach in NFL history, first year coach to get fired within his first season. The other obviously being Urban Meyer.
Wow.
So I think that tells you how bad it's been that Denver would make that call. From the outside looking in, you might say, well, is Russell Wilson just as culpable? The organization clearly feel Hackett is solely responsible.
Yeah.
Although Wilson's contract is also pretty prohibitive. So if he's good to go, I think Wilson will play, and I think the whole team will want to play for a new coach in a divisional game, and just have some fun towards what's been a really miserable season for everybody involved, probably. So yeah, I'm going to
Yep.
go with you basically. Long story short, I think they keep this fairly close here. In a Chiefs in an inevitable Chiefs win, just closer than the experts think.
Yeah. That sounds right.
All
Oh
right.
dear.
Colts go to the Big Apple.
Whoa. You can have the honor of picking this one first, Mike. Lord knows, no one wants to.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty nasty fixture. This I don't think anyone's really going to be tuning into this one unless they have to for some reason or another. I think the Giants are going to be my pick here, purely because they have everything to play for. They have seeding to play for. What I just banked on with the Broncos now in terms of a new head coach being drafted in, that effect has now worn off for the Colts, and they're taking some real shellackings now,
Yeah.
which is why this spread is even getting close to a touchdown because the Giants just don't blow anybody out. So for them to get favored by this much, you must really be a terrible team, which obviously the Colts are. So I'm gonna say the Giants. Yeah, and that's the pick on this one for me.
Yeah, not too much more to add there. The Colts were abominable when I watched them the other night. That was I don't know why I picked them to cover that one the other night. Just a moment of madness from me, and I may well have put the spreads out of out of reach for you there if I'd got that one. So I can't in good conscience pick them again. It's going to be a Giants win here, and the Giants getting onto the NFC playoffs.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think so. Finally put the Commanders to bed as well in the NFC East, which would be good to see because, yeah, everyone knows what a mess they are. Okay, so cross country here for Mike White and his New York Jets. I believe he's healthy, the boy White.
Yeah, Mike White's going to play.
Yeah,
He's still going to be banged up though. So this is a really tough one. This is a coin flip sort of fixture. I do just like the Seahawks here as the home team. They've been on a real slide lately, but as you mentioned, the Jets going cross country. I wouldn't feel comfortable picking them, and especially as they're favourites. I'd much rather take the points because this could be a very low scoring, close game. So give me Seattle at home.
I mean, obviously, you know, Pete Carroll, the ultimate motivator. They're still in the NFC wildcard race, and despite what has been quite a much better than expected season for them, they find themselves as home underdogs to the quarterbackless New York Jets. You would have thought Pete Carroll would have had a field day this week, getting his team ready for this one. I mean, no extra motivation needed here for Gino and the boys, and I think Seattle get it done. I think it'll be pretty ugly, which is kind of been the methodology for the Seahawks over the last few years. And I think when it happens and they're still in the hunt, when it comes down to it, I think they'll get it done here. But yeah, it might be an ugly one. But yeah, give me the Seahawks by a field goal here and cover the 1.5.
Nice. Yeah.
So yeah, we're getting down to it now, almost to the end. So we've got next one, Las Vegas, the newly Derek Carless Las Vegas hosting the 49ers. This is your here, Tom. Big spread. Goodness.
Yeah.
You better
I've done pretty well the last few weeks taking the Niners when they've been favorites. They've covered the last 3 times they've been favorites off the top of my head, and I'm sure they've had a few more on the year before that. So it's going to be the Niners here. Just handle things, keep the train rolling smoothly. The Raiders in disarray, it seems. Jarrett Stidham, never one to give us much confidence when we've watched him, Mike. So this is only one result for me here. It's a big Niners win.
Yeah, I'm going to differ. I think you're right. I honestly think this will be a Niners win. But this feels like an opportunity for me to take a big home dog and maybe close the gap in the standings to you here. So I'm going to take the Las Vegas Raiders with absolutely no hope in my heart for it at all. But really, I can't hide it. It's just a cynical ploy to try and get myself back in the contest here. So
it's the home dog logic. Can't blame you.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens on that one. I mean, not a huge amount of interest in that game, to be honest, but I'll keep an eye on it because I think it might be a way back in for me if they can somehow get Jared Stidham firing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, apparently the Chargers are going to blow somebody out again. Never sits comfortably with me, that logic, because the LA Chargers do not blow anybody out. And the Rams are quite resurgent here under Baker Mayfield. So I'm going to keep this quite succinct. I'm going to go with the Rams to cover here. May still be a Chargers win. Obviously, the Rams got nothing to play for, but Mayfield does. He's playing, he wants to be a starter somewhere next year. So,
Yeah.
yeah, give me the Rams to cover that 6.5.
Yeah, this is a surprising spread to me here. I think this is a totally wrong, this spread. As you know, I'll always pick against the Chargers if you give me 6.5. So I'll stick to my guns here. I didn't pick them last week, but I'm not going to flip flop on the Chargers because I feel quite strongly that they won't cover. So go on, a double for the Rams. Nice and simple.
Nice and simple. So just got 4 minutes left here, Tom. So we actually don't have a huge amount of time. We'll have to rattle through these. So we got Minnesota at Green Bay. I actually can't see the line because it's taking forever to load here. Oh, here we go. 3.5 points.
Yeah, I like the line in terms of Minnesota. I know Kirk Cousins has a surprisingly good record against the Packers. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's certainly a winning record. And again, you're making a 12-3 team, more than a field goal underdog here at the Packers. We have seen the Vikings get blown out, so it's a risk. But I'm gonna stick my money on what I know here, and the Vikings keep most of these games close and ultimately win the close games. Probably a Vikings win here, to be honest.
Yeah, I do have a little bit of reservation because the Vikings classically in their history have always been chokers, and they need to win here to keep any kind of pressure on Philadelphia and Dallas for the NFC #1 seed.
Yeah.
But given what we've seen from these two football teams over the course of the season, I'm not really sure how you can make the Vikings a 3.5 point underdog here. So,
No.
yeah, give me the Vikings too. I'd love to be able to differ here, but I just can't in good conscience. So yeah, give me the Vikings here.
Yeah, nice.
All right.
Well, good old fashioned AFC North battle here on a Sunday night brings back some good memories.
Yeah, and on the face of it, I would normally say I don't care. However, obviously the Steelers have something to play for, I would imagine, in the wild card standings. I imagine they're still alive, are they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
certainly alive.
Yeah, I also have to ask you because I don't know, is Lamar Jackson healthy this week or is he still sidelined with that injury?
I think he's going to play. I haven't heard too much about it, but at this stage, I think he's going to play.
Yeah, it looks like the Athletic have him on the injury report still, but
Yeah.
if if um if Lamar's gonna play, it's our favorite thing. It's a 2.5 point spread. I'll take the Baltimore Ravens to win in a slobber knocker
Yeah.
On Sunday night. And just really cement their AFC North crown here against an albeit plucky Steelers side down the stretch. I'm gonna say the Ravens are going to be the victors here.
Yeah, this might be one we have a look at on the day, depending on Jackson. Because I would take the Ravens, but I'd like to reserve the right to flip flop if he's injured.
I like that because I think if Lamar's healthy, even if he's only throwing it and they don't run him, I still think he gives them enough to win the game by a field goal
at home.
At home. Yeah, so I agree. Let's have a look at that on the day. That sounds very reasonable.
Right,
is that
it's a doozy? It's a doozy on Monday night.
Where is it? I can't see it. Oh yes, here it is. The game of the week. How could I have forgotten? So we've got unfortunately
Aikman and what's his name? Buck will actually have a good game to call for the first time this year. I'll be quite happy with it.
It's been a drought. They've been in the desert on a horse with no name for most of the year. But what do you think here? I just picked the Ravens first, so you'll have a swing at this one, Tom.
Oh, I like the Bengals here. I don't think the Bills are going to go the whole year losing just 3 games. They're not that good for me. And I like the Bengals as the home team here, with a very well-rounded team we've discussed before in terms of offense, defense, and special teams. It's a coin flip for sure. The spread indicates that, but I like the Bengals to keep this streak going here. We've done very well profiting off them the last few weeks on these spreads.
Yeah, my feeling is the same, but I'm going to be